What would you do if your biggest dream was taken away from you? Would you give up or would you find another way? Today I'm going to tell you the incredible story of a boy who was rejected by the greatest teacher in the world, yet became one of the greatest archers in history. His name was Eklavya. Long ago, deep within the beautiful forests of ancient India, lived a young boy named Eklavya. He was the son of a tribal chief. Unlike princes who lived in magnificent palaces, Eklavya grew up surrounded by towering trees, flowing rivers, birds, and wild animals. Nature was his playground. The forest was his home. But inside his heart lived one extraordinary dream. He wanted to become the greatest archer in the world. Whenever warriors practiced with bows and arrows, Eklavya watched with shining eyes. The sound of the bowstring, the arrows soaring through the air, the perfect thud as they struck the target. It amazed him. Quietly, he made himself a promise. One day I'll become a great archer. At that time, the greatest archery teacher in all of India was Guru Dronacharya. Kings respected him. Warriors admired him. Princes traveled from distant kingdoms just to become his students. Among them was a young prince named Arjuna. People already believed that he would become one of the finest archers ever. When Eklavya heard about Dronacharya, hope filled his heart. This is the teacher I've been looking for. Without wasting another day, he packed a few belongings and began his long journey. After many days of walking through forests and villages, Eklavya finally reached Dronacharya's academy. He bowed respectfully. Guru Dronacharya, I wish to become your student. Please teach me archery. Dronacharya looked at the young boy. For a long moment, he remained silent. Then he gently shook his head. No, I cannot teach you. Those few words felt heavier than mountains. Eklavya had dreamed of this moment for years. Now, his dream seemed to disappear before his eyes. With a heavy heart, he bowed once more, turned around, and slowly walked away. As he walked through the forest, tears filled his eyes. For a moment, he wondered if his dream was over. Then another thought quietly entered his mind. If I cannot learn from Dronacharya, then I'll learn another way. Most people would have given up. But Eklavya was not like most people. Back home, Eklavya collected soft clay from the river bank. Patiently, carefully, he shaped it into a statue. It looked like Dronacharya. Every morning he bowed before it. Every evening he thanked it. To Eklavya, this statue was not just clay. It was his teacher. And then the real journey began. Every sunrise he practiced. Every sunset he practiced. When the weather was pleasant, he practiced. When heavy rain poured from the sky, he practiced. When cold winds blew through the forest, he practiced. The seasons changed. While other children played, Eklavya kept practicing. His fingers became sore. His hands developed blisters. One evening, his mother gently held his hands. Eklavya, your hands are hurting. He smiled. Every blister brings me one step closer to my dream. His parents looked at each other with pride. They knew their son possessed something very special. He aimed at the leaves dancing in the wind, tiny fruits hanging high in the trees, small stones by the river. Sometimes he missed. He picked up another arrow. Sometimes he failed again. He smiled, adjusted his aim, and tried again. Every mistake became a lesson. Every failure became a teacher. Little by little, day by day, his arrows flew straighter, faster, more accurately, until one day he could split one arrow with another. He could strike the stem of a fruit without bruising it. Even the birds stopped flying away when he practiced. They seemed to trust him. The forest itself had become his classroom. One day Dronacharya and his students entered the forest to practice. As they walked, one of the dogs wandered away from the group. Soon it discovered Eklavya. The dog began barking loudly. Woof, woof, woof! Eklavya was deeply focused. He did not wish to harm the animal. He simply wanted peace to continue practicing. In one smooth motion, he lifted his bow. Swish, 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 swish. Within moments, several arrows flew through the air. When the dog stopped barking, its mouth had been perfectly surrounded by arrows. Not one arrow touched its tongue. Not one drop of blood was shed. The dog was completely unharmed. When the dog returned to Dronacharya and the princess, everyone froze. No one had ever seen such astonishing skill. The princess looked around. There were no soldiers, no hunters, no kings. Who could possibly have done this? Even Dronacharya looked amazed. We must find this archer. Following the trail through the forest, they finally reached a young boy quietly practicing. Bow in hand, eyes focused, it was Eklavya. Dronacharya asked, Young man, who taught you archery? Without speaking, Eklavya bowed respectfully. Then he pointed towards the clay statue. You did. Everyone turned. There stood the clay statue of Dronacharya. Eklavya explained everything. How he had been rejected, how he had made the statue, how he practiced every single day, how he had never stopped believing. Silence filled the forest. Arjuna stepped forward. With genuine admiration, he said, I've never seen anyone practice with such dedication. Even Dronacharya stood quietly. He could see that this young boy's determination was extraordinary. Then Dronacharya remembered something. Years earlier, he had made a promise. He had promised Arjuna that he would one day become the greatest archer in the world. Dronacharya looked at Arjuna, then at Eklavya. The forest became still. The birds seemed to stop singing. Finally, Dronacharya spoke. Eklavya, if I am truly your guru, will you give me Guru Dakshina? Eklavya smiled warmly. Of course, Guruji, anything. Then came the words no one expected. I want your right thumb. Silence. The princess stared in disbelief because for an archer, the thumb was everything. Without it, Shooting arrows became incredibly difficult. Surely Eklavya would refuse. Surely he would argue. Surely he would protect the dream he had worked so hard to achieve. Instead, Eklavya looked at his bow, then at his thumb. He smiled gently. He bowed before his guru. Without anger, without complaint, without hesitation, he offered his thumb. The very thumb that had helped him become a master archer. The very thumb that had brought him closer to his dream. Even Dronacharya's heart was deeply moved by Eklavya's devotion. Most people would have stopped there. Most people would have believed their dream was over. But Eklavya was not like most people. He learned to shoot again. He adapted. He practiced in new ways. He continued learning. He continued improving. Because true determination cannot be taken away. Thousands of years have passed, yet people still remember Eklavya. Not because he was a king, not because he was rich, not because he was powerful, but because he refused to let rejection decide his future. He proved that talent may open a door, but determination builds the path. So, little souls, success does not belong to only the most talented. It belongs to those who keep learning, keep practicing, and never stop believing in themselves. So, when one door closes, find another way. Remember, little souls, the strongest bow is not made of wood, it is made of courage, it is made of discipline, and most of all, it is made of determination. So tell me, little souls, if you were Eklavya, what would you have done? Would you have given up? Or would you have found another way? Tell a grown up your answer or ask them what they would have done. And if you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to subscribe to Wise Little Souls, where every story helps us become a little kinder, a little wiser, and a little braver. So, see you in the next story.